Here's a story was told by a man called Rabbi Yehuda Schwartz. Rabbi Yehuda Schwartz, he lived in France, and he worked for another Jew that had a um, that had some sort of a company, whatever it was. He would deliver things, and they rented a truck from a company, a truck rental or car rental company in France. He rented this truck out, and he was delivering whatever he was delivering, and the brakes failed on the truck. The brakes failed, and it went smashing into a. He went over a bridge and it went smashing into the rail of the bridge, and miraculously, nothing happened. Nobody was killed, but it wrecked up the truck and it wrecked up the railing of the truck. It was a tremendous amount. So they gave him a big fine, and he also had to pay for the. So he said it wasn't my fault. The brakes of the truck went out. It was nothing to do with me. The truck, the company that rented me the truck, as it was his fault. The brakes should have checked the brakes. So he took him to court. The person that was took to court, it was a big company, and he had good lawyers, and the lawyers brought all sorts of laws that and proof that the brakes had been checked before this person took it out, and that maybe he misused the truck or whatever. But in any case, it is certainly not the responsibility of the company, the truck company, the rental company, the truck company. They don't have to pay. It's not their responsibility. And this poor Jew, he was just a simple person. He didn't have any lawyers or anything like that. He just thought it would be a cut and dry thing. He rented a truck. He didn't do anything wrong. He rented a truck and the brakes didn't work. So the owner, the owner of this rental place, a rich guy with this. So when there was a break. So he asked this Chassid, this Rabbi Schwartz. He said, "Tell me, are you connected? What type of a Jew are you?" I said, "I'm Chabad. You're connected to the Lubavitcher Rebbe?" He said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Okay." He goes to the judge, and the judge pounds on the thing, and he said, "I've just spoken to the owner of the place, and he says that he'll pay for the whole thing. He'll pay for the railing, and he's dropping all the charges on the car, and he'll pay for everything." But so thank you very much. Goes over and says, "Thank you very much." I said, "Why did you do it?" He said, "Well, you're a follower of this Rabbi Schneerson, right?" I said, "Yeah." "I want to tell you a story." Said, I learned in university. We learned in the Sorbonne, learned in the university. And there was this one religious Jew. He learned with us all the time. It was pretty unusual to see a religious Jew that revealed his Judaism. In France, everybody was just people. But he was very good. And what we would do in order that we would be able to live, we and my friends, we would on Sunday we would go into the countryside and we would buy fruits and vegetables early in the morning. Then we would come back and we would sell them in the market, and then we had enough money for the week that we could. But what we would lose classes, we would lose time. So your rabbi, he said that he would take notes and that he would go over it with us, or he would give us his notes, whatever it was. And that's the way it was the whole time. And he gave us, so we were very grateful to him. And he never asked for any money. He didn't care. He said, I'm sitting in the class anyway. I can just write it down. And he did. So then there came maybe it was a class in mathematics or something. And then it came to the test. The test was a very, very difficult test. And, it's 5 hours. And we all went into the room. And your rabbi, he finished the test in like, an hour and a half, an hour or something like that. So he gave the test in. So the professor said, "What's this?" He said, "I finished." He said, "What are you, some sort of a sorcerer? Something?" And everybody laughed. Ha ha, chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. And some sort of a sorcerer. What, you did this by some sort of magic? What is this? This is ridiculous. Anyway, so the Rebbe your Rebbe left the room. And it ended up that your rabbi got the highest class, the highest mark in the class. So the professor that was giving the class, he stood up in front of everybody and he said, "I want to apologize. I want to apologize to to Mr. Schneerson, Rabbi Schneerson, whatever he called him." He passed it. He said, "But I want to understand, how did you do it? How could you possibly, get the answers so quickly and write them down so quickly?" So he said that there's a book in Judaism, a lot of books that are called the Talmud, and the Talmud has all the wisdom in the world. And that if a person knows the Talmud, so all the other wisdom in the world is very easy for him. And so your rabbi really impressed me with two things. First of all, that he was so good-hearted that he was willing to write it all down, the class down, so we could go over it. And secondly, that he finished it so quickly and he gave this amazing answer. I couldn't believe it, but I figured a person that's honest like that, if you're connected to him, a person like this, so I never repaid him. This is my way of repaying him. And he paid it. So we see that the Rebbe had these tremendous powers. Now, amazingly, why did the Rebbe even go to university? As far as I understand, it was his father-in-law sent him. And the idea behind it was so that the Rebbe would be acquainted with the ways, the attitude and the ways of the world. I don't think that the Rebbe really needed, and listen, who am I to explain? He needed the teachers to explain but the whole ambience of what the world is about, and the way people think and the way people, justify their lifestyles and what brings them to certain lifestyles and what's missing in the world. I think that that's what the Rebbe got. But in any case, the Rebbe did definitely learn in university, and he was an engineer. He was a naval engineer, and the Rebbe used to work in during World War II. The Rebbe came to America in 1941, so he worked for the naval engineering for the Army, the Navy. Rebbe worked for the Navy, and they say that the Rebbe would not work on Shabbat. Everybody else did, but on Sunday he was the only person working there. And there was one person that came into the Rebbe. I don't remember if I know this person personally or I saw it. I don't remember, but the Rebbe asked the person, "What level of clearance, security clearance, do you have?" And he said something. The Rebbe said, "I have a higher level." The Rebbe had a higher level of security clearance than. So I guess he developed some unique things for the Navy, whatever it was. But anyways, that's how he made his living. The Rebbe made his living when he was in America, at least in the 40s, and that he was a naval engineer. Have a good day. See you tomorrow with Mashiach Now, and look forward to seeing you. Shalom Uvracha. 8:15 tomorrow morning.